Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we are doing a really exciting first impression, swatches and a look with the brand new palette from MBA Cosmetics, the Moonlit Marsh Palette. This is in collaboration with my dear friend BASKETCASEBEAUTY. As soon as Lee mentioned that they were gonna have a collab, I immediately knew I was gonna be buying it straight up. They showed me a sneak peek of the palette and I was like, oh my god. So I'm really excited to be supporting Lee with this. I'll talk about like my shipping experience and prices and all of that stuff, but I think we should just get into the palette. I have never tried MBA Cosmetics before. I've been really curious about a lot of their single shadows, so I thought that, you know, buying my friend's collab palette would be the perfect opportunity to try them, and they actually included a free little eyeshadow that we'll swatch a bit later, but this is about the main event. So this is the Moonlit Marsh palette that Lee created. It is a 16 pan palette, I believe, and here's the back. I think there's like a bit of like ink, like printer ink over here. It's a minor thing. I don't really care. As long as the actual like palette is in good condition, I don't care if there's a little scuff on the back. But this is the inside. Oh no! Oh my god, as I was opening the palette, a shade just fell out. Oh no! Let's just place that inside and just hold it in. These are meant to be glued in, so I'll just super glue that back in. A little bit of a chaotic start, but this is what the palette looks like right here. It is a gorgeous 16 pan palette, and it is just giving like swampy bog witch vibes, which it just screams my name. It just screams my name. There's a nice big mirror on the inside. And yeah, let's go on into swatching this. I'm so excited! I'll be swatching all of these on my arm, unprimed. So yeah, let's go row by row and just get into it. I won't do like a full shade breakdown because there's a lot of shades in here and this video is gonna be very long. So I'll just show you a nice juicy up close shot. Look at it. Oh, look how pretty. I love the textures in here. I am immediately, like, this top row, I am the most excited for. But I also love the pop of warmth in here, and like some of these satin shades I'm actually like curious about. I feel like they'd be good layering shades. I know Lee loves their satin shades to like use as a base for other things, so let's get into it. Actually, before we start, I'm just going to take a picture of this palette completely untouched because I want a pretty aesthetic shot for Instagram. I should have done this before I got on camera, but it is what I'm doing. Radio, so I'm going to swatch these on my arm right here. The only light that we have going is my ring light. I will show you in different lighting so you can see like all the shifts. So the first shade is called Heron, and this is a very light turquoise matte. It is literally the exact same shade as the Heron from The Boy and the Heron, so I'm already loving this. It's a lovely soft pastel. I've never tried MBA's formula, so I am very intrigued how all of these are going to work. Next we have the shade Starlight, and it's got that like squishy metallic formula that I really love. Fenty Cosmetica do a lot of shadows like that, and this is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, these two together, stunning. It's got that pinky rosy base and then that bright blue pink flash to it. Next matte we have is called Polywog. This is a lime green. Their matte formula is nice and silky. I love greens like that. Those are some of my favorites. The next shade is another one of those squishy metallic formulas. This is Helenius, I'm unsure. This is beautiful. This looks exactly like that shade in the Sorcerer palette from Fenty Cosmetica that I fucking adore. It's a teal turquoise with like pink and blue shine. Very stunning. So far these two shimmers are like multi-chrome duochromes. This next shade is a duochrome but more metallic. This is Crawdad. Nice. It's one of those purple bases with a medium blue shine. Very nice. The next matte we have is Minnow, and this is a grey taupe. From this point onwards, the swatches might be difficult to see over my tattoos, but it's what we gotta work with. That's a nice shade. It's a unique shade. I don't have many like that in my collection. Right, this shot is a little bit less aesthetic than before. I need to sit down because my swatching standing up really hurts my muscles a lot. The next shade is a gorgeous orange metallic, and this is King Cup. Oh, look at that. It's like a proper copper. Next shade is a medium pinky peach matte called Opossum. Oh, this shade with Minnow would be like a proper little opossum look. Not gonna lie, opossums kind of freak me out a little bit. Something about them, I don't trust them. But I love that shade of pink. The next shade is a olive satin called Alligator. It's a very pigmented base, not much shine to it, but that's kind of what you get with a satin. Next we got another one of those squishy, like multi-chrome metallic formulas. This is Lotus. I picked up a lot on my finger, full disclosure, so I'm gonna have to smooth that out, but that is so beautiful. From my angle, it's very peach with a gold shift. From yours, it's like cool toned pink, blue. Next we have a teal matte called Dragonfly. Anytime I think of Lee, I think of shades like this. And also like grungy colours. Dare I say this palette is very Lee. Shock horror, I know. The next satin is a shade called Bogland, which I love the name. Oh, that's really creamy. Yeah, that doesn't need any more swipes. I actually really like satin shades like this, I've learned. Like, I like using them as like a winged liner and as a base for things. And you know me, normally I'm not a satin boy, but I like that shade. I actually quite like that. I can imagine putting that all over the lid with Lotus on top. That would be gorgeous. Moving on to the final row, we have Moonshine, which is a stunning silver. It's quite like crumbly in a good way. I love crumbly shimmers. Oh, it's got like a blue shine to it as well, and green. That's pretty fucking cool, that. Next we have the shade Violet. It's a cool toned purple. Not the greatest swatch, but we move forward. My swatches are kind of getting a bit haphazard now. This shade's another one of the squishy, like, foiled metallics. This is Moss. Oh, this is... oh, that's a bit of me, that. That is... oh, that's one of my favourite shades. I'm gonna say it. Look at her. It's an olive with a cool toned green shine and gold. And finally we have the shade Nocturnal, and this looks to be like a charcoal grey matte. I can deepen up Minnow quite nicely. Where's Minnow? There. There's only 2 deep mattes, but I feel like they do complement like the other shades in here. Like, I can see myself using that with like the greens. And that, my friends, is the entire palette swatched out. I'm just gonna show you with natural light right here. I cannot get over the sparkle in some of these. Like, oh. It's a really unique colour story as well. Right, we are going to get into doing a look with Moonlit Marsh. I want to use as many shades as possible, but I definitely want to use like the greens, maybe the teal. I've already done the rest of my makeup, but we are going to be priming my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer to give things the most fair chance. You know the drill if you've been here. This is the primer that works with everything. So I use it for everything, especially when I try out new to me eyeshadow formulas. I'm first going to take Polywog and put that on the outer portion of my crease. And like I usually do in these first impression videos, I like to just do one eye at a time, just to save some time. But that is blending quite nicely. Actually, let me put my glasses back on because they act as a headband. Who needs to buy a cute headband when you have glasses? Albeit, it's a far more expensive headband, but a headband nonetheless. I want to be like a little swampy bog witch. That's what I want to be today. And I will take a bit of Polywog on my lower lash, the outer portion. This shade is blending very effortlessly. It's nicely pigmented. and it's just working really nicely. I'm a big fan of this. If all the mattes are going to behave like this, I'm going to be very, very happy. I'm going to take the shade Dragonfly, the teal shade, and I'm going to put that to deepen up my outer V. I love a good teal, and I'm going to use my favourite like Nabla blending brush to gently pat this on. I want to build up the pigment. Since this does have a lot of blue in it, I don't want the blue to like overtake the green. This is taking a little bit to build though. Like, I mean, it's happening, but kind of slowly. I don't know about that, I'll be honest with you. Like, it's giving me something, but it's not giving me like the intensity that I want. Maybe I need to pack it on a bit more. But I am afraid that if I pack it on too much, it's gonna lift. Okay, this brush is stained red, but we can try and pat this. Yeah, there we go. I think it might have just been not behaving with the brush. Alright, is it just me or is it a little bit patchy? Just like in this general area, it doesn't seem to like want to stick to my eye. Maybe it's because I put on too much eyeshadow. I am just gonna leave it for now. I think maybe when I do the other eye, I will layer a little bit less polywog in that area. So, because maybe like there was too much eyeshadow. But that's the thing with first impressions, especially with a brand that I've never tried. Like, I don't really know what works best with their formulas. Some of them you have to like, you know, make sure you don't layer too much. Some of them you have to work dark to light. Like, it all depends. All right, we're gonna take the shade Opossum now, and we're gonna put that on the inner portion of my crease. I am really excited. This looks really pretty. I feel like this would be a gorgeous blush shade. I might use that for blush soon. It's like a very nice peachy pink. Gonna put that, fluff that here. I like that. I like that very much. I feel like that complements all of these colours nicely. I've got no other comments apart from yes. Alright, for the inner portion of my lower lash, I will be layering some like shimmers there, but for the base, I want to put Heron down. I also just want to see how this pastel will act with everything else. I'm going to pack it on. And that is, oh, that is nice. Oh, now that is buttering my toast right now. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That's open to interpretation. For my lid shades, I really want to use Moss. I'm not too sure. I might use Starlight on the inner portion because like the tan base does kind of match the nice like peachiness we've got going on. We'll see. Either way, I'm going to be using Firene Pixie Epoxy, lightly dabbing that on my lid. I use this with every single shimmer formula. You can also use NYX Glitter Glue if you like. I just find that if you've got hooded eyes like I do, and especially if you have hooded oily eyelids, using a tacky base with shimmers always works best. Get tacky, and then I'm going to apply Moss with my finger. I am so excited for this shade. I didn't think I'd like be the most excited for this one, but I am. In person, it's just so pretty. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Are you kidding me? Look at that. I'm kind of gonna put that a little bit over where the patchiness of the teal is. Just so we cover that. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I love that. I really, really like that. And now I'm gonna take Starlight and I'm gonna put that on the inner portion. This shade I think I was the most excited for. I just love shades like this. Oh, and it doesn't disappoint. I mean, look at that. I will try and blend Moss with Starlight a bit because currently it's kind of like a sharp line of the two. I think if I just go back in with both of them, it'll sort itself out. I really love that. That looks so foiled and glistening. I think for the inner portion of my lower lash, I really want to take the shade Helenius, I think it is. I actually don't know what Helenius means. Definition of Helenius.
According to Wikipedia,
no,
Polonius is
not Polonius. Helonious definition.
According to Wikipedia, Helonious is a character.
Helonious definition. Not Helenus. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna... Voice search just doesn't work when you have an accent. Howtopronounce.com. Here we go.
Helonious. Helonious.
Helonios?
Helonious. Helonious.
That sounds wrong. Not me going to howtopronounce.com and criticizing how it's pronounced. Helonious is a flower. It's a little flower. Either way, I'm going to take this shade on a really tiny brush with no primer, no Fair & Pixie epoxy, and I'm just going to put that on the inner portion of my lower lash. I've changed my mind. I'm going to cover all of that pastel shade with the blue, and I'm actually going to use my finger. I'm full of surprises today. And I think for my inner corner, I want to take Moonshine, this like silvery shade. It doesn't look like much in the pan, like it just looks like a silver foil, but it has like white, green, and blue sparkles in it. That is actually a very nice surprise. I will drag this a little bit over the top of Helonious. I really like this look. This looks really cool. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, finish up the rest of my makeup, and we'll talk about the shipping experience, my first impressions, and all of that good stuff. Alright, so I have finished the rest of my makeup. If you're curious about what I used for my eyeliners, I used a mix of two. So I used the LA Girl Shockwave liner in the shade Gotcha for the outer portion. For the inner portion, I used this one, which I absolutely love. This is the Oden's Eye Solmane gel liner in the shade number 4. For mascara, I used the Lottie Super Fake as always, and for my lips, I reached into the Oden's Eye Velvet Lipstick in Light Peach. Also, I forgot to mention, but the blush that I also used was Soft Peach from CoverFX. So let's just get into this eye look. I absolutely love it. Like, the green shimmer of moss is just so stunning, and like, it's such a fun combination. I feel like this is a very Swamp Fairy look. Also, with the teal shade, I found that when I layered less of the Polywog shade on here, like I literally only put Polywog like on the outer portion here, kind of like a graphic liner shape, and then in the empty space I patted on the Dragonfly shade with this brush. Like I patted it on in where I wanted it, and it looked really nice. I think that shade yields best with less underneath it, and also not with a fluffy brush. I think that's the best way if you want the most saturation. But oh, I love this makeup look. It's so pretty. I love the shimmers. These sorts of like squishy metallic shimmers are some of my favorites. I know they're not everyone's favorite because they can crease on a lot of people. Even if they do crease on me, I usually don't care personally. But we'll see how this wears. I will wear it all day and I will report back in my like official review video. But this is just a first impression. So I bought this palette directly off MBA's website. They also have an Etsy page, but I did find that their Etsy shipping prices were more expensive than their regular store. I understand Etsy does take quite a big fee, I would know. If you want cheaper shipping, I recommend buying directly from their website, at least if you live in the UK. Shipping was £24, which, it is really expensive, but there was no way in hell that I was missing out on my friend's collab palette, so I bit the bullet anyway. Palette itself is £47, however I did use Lee's discount code BASKETCASE for a little bit of a discount, and that saved me £4.90, so I paid £44.10 for the palette. Altogether though, my final total was £68.10. So this is a pricey boy. But MBA are a small indie brand. I completely understand why like the prices are a bit higher, especially because this palette is a £16 palette. Like it's a big one with a mirror and with like duochrome like squishy shadows in here. Also the shipping that I paid for, there was only one like international shipping option, which was first class international, which you know, considering I paid £24, I'm okay with it being first class. I mean, if it's gonna be that price, it may as well. I also ordered this palette on launch day, which was the 18th of February, and I received it today on the 26th of February when I'm recording this. So that it only took 8 days, which is pretty damn fucking good. I really like the packaging. I love the print on the front. It's a bit of a shame that there's like this printer ink. I'm pretty sure it's ink because I tried to rub it off with like makeup remover. It's not makeup, it is like ink. The ingredients are on the back. It is vegan and cruelty free. We can't ignore the fact that Crawdad literally fell out. Thankfully the actual pan fell out with the shadow inside it, not the shadow itself. So I think the glue just came a little bit loose in shipping, which, you know, shit happens. I don't really mind too much. So yeah, that was my shipping experience with MBA. I also didn't need to pay customs, so that's a big plus. But anyway, first impression of this, the shimmers in here are absolutely gorgeous. I am so impressed, especially with Moss and Moonshine. I did not expect to love Moonshine as much as I do. It really is like a silver green iridescent, like white iridescent. Like I fully thought this was going to be like just a standard silver, and I don't usually love standard silvers. I mean, I like them, but they're not my favorite. This shade I can see myself hitting pan on really soon. Like this is going to be an inner corner highlight for me in so many looks. Moss is so gorgeous and dimensional, and I love these olivey greens. The other shimmers I really like these metallic, like squishy formulas, they're my favourites. I'm curious to see how these satins will play in. I think I'll especially like Bogland paired with Starlight or Lotus. I think it will layer nicely with them. I only tried 4 mattes in this palette, which were Heron, Polywog, Opossum and Dragonfly. I do find though from the first impression that I do have to work a bit differently with this. I can't just kind of like swipe and blend it like that. I do have to pat it on, which is alright because I tend to do that with a lot of my eyeshadows anyway. But I do have to be a little bit careful, especially with Dragonfly. If I layer too much of this on, it will just become a bit patchy. To be fair, most teal matte shadows do that, so I don't think it's really a fault of this formula. I think just in general they're just a bit harder to formulate. But so far so good. I love this colour story. I think it's really unique and gorgeous. The shimmers in here are stunning. I love the look that I did, and I'm just really happy to have a piece of Lee's creativity in my collection. Like, I am so unbelievably proud of Lee. But it is gorgeous. If you want to pick this up, I believe it might be on pre-order right now. I could be lying. Either way, you can use Lee's code BASKETCASE to save a bit of money. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about like the free shadow that they included, the free gift with purchase. This is one of their Silk FX shadows in Mariana. Mariana Cross. I think this is like a satin shadow, but it looks like this. I love the imprint. It looks like a mandala. That's Mariana from MBA. Oh, that's actually a lot shinier than I thought it would be. It doesn't look that shiny in the pan, but that's a nice peach. I feel like that could also make a really good blush. Ooh. That's a good blush shade. I will try and get my 2 looks plus review with this palette up at some point soon, probably like near the end of March, because I really want to have a nice good play around with this before I review it. And with all of that said and done, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know, what would you like to see with Moonlit Marsh? Would you like to see a palette bingo? Any specific videos that you'd like to see with this? Do you plan on picking it up? Do let me know. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's Fairy Skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK, and we make handmade candles and wax melts, as you can see behind me. The link to shop will be down below, along with our social media, if you'd like to support us. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here, and as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!